How's it going, everybody? This is Dominic Minchella. I am the Kansas City Chiefs beat writer on SI and the host of the Kansas City Chiefs Insider Podcast. I hope everybody is having a great day so far whenever you are watching this. And if you are at all, I do greatly appreciate it as always. Today, we are going to continue on with our expectation series for the Kansas City Chiefs 2025 roster. We have covered so many Chiefs players thus far on this series, from Patrick Mahomes to Travis Kelce to Nick Bolton to some rookies in Josh Simmons, Ashton Gelati, Brashard Smith, Jalen Royals. I mean, we're starting to get into the nitty gritty of players here, and I hope that you guys have enjoyed this because I've been enjoying doing them. I love the projections kind of before the season, and seems like, oh, am I on the same wavelength of where their skill level is, or is it trending in the right direction, or is it falling off? I like knowing that. I like seeing how have a feel of the game. And if you want to know what all of my previous expectations slash predictions for like total tackles and wide receiving yards and all stuff like that, be sure to go check them out. I would love and appreciate that. But today we're going to continue on sticking with on the defensive side of the ball. We talked about Nick Bolton earlier in this podcast series, and we're going to stick inside the linebacker room again and talk about Drue Tranquill. Drue Tranquill, he's a veteran in the linebacker locker room, or just the class in its room in itself. He has been very successful for Kansas City, similar to how tight end Noah Gray was or has been since joining the National Football League. He has only progressed well in his time with the Chiefs. Now, the expectations for a guy like for Drue Tranquill is, they're going to be a lot different than, say, the likes of Nick Bolton. For example, I gave an expectation of Nick Bolton wanting to surpass, or I'm expecting him to surpass over 100 total tackles on the season, because he has a track record of doing so. 3 out of the 4 years, he has totaled more than 100 total tackles. So that is an expectation that I don't see him taking a step back in his traditional game. But for Drue Tranquill, it has been a guy in his career where he's seen the ups and then he stops, where he sees the up and then he stops again. For example, he came in to the National Football League as a 4th-round pick by the Chiefs' division rivals in the Los Angeles Chargers. His first season, he had 75 total tackles. His third season, because he got hurt in the second season, 76. Then his final season with the Chargers before he became a free agent, ending up signing with Kansas City, is the only time that he has passed over 100 total tackles. And he did so by a large margin, 146, and I'm looking at almost 100 of them were individuals, solo tackles. So without further ado, let's get into kind of the expectations that I have, kind of feeding off of what we've seen throughout the career of Drue Tranquill. So I believe that he is going to, I'm fully expecting him and Nick Bolton to both be around the 100 total tackles for the entire season. I see them kind of being like the 1-2 punch of the linebacker room. And while Nick Bolton has kind of taken that leadership role, Tranquill is a guy that you're going to want on the field as well with Bolton. He's got the experience both in the playoffs and how the Chiefs have been running the game and the system for all these seasons and all that. Going into his third and final season, I am fully expecting that Tranquill knows this in the back of his head, that he's going to think to himself, well, if I enjoy playing in Kansas City enough, I need to have a upward trend again in my Chiefs career. Last season, or let's just break down how he has been in his total tackles. His first year, he had 79. The first year after his 146 total tackles with the Los Angeles Chargers. So kind of a drop down in that regard, because he also played in more games, I believe. Let me just double check. He played in less games, one less game, but still, like still a large margin. It's a large of a amount of a decrease. But then last year, he jumped up to 94 total tackles. And if the trend is going to move in that direction, I can easily see Tranquill getting 6 or more total tackles on top of the 94 that he had last year, therefore pushing him over the century mark for the second time in his career. Because that not only is just showing the Chiefs, hey, I still got what it takes, but he's also setting himself up perfectly for what the future of his career could possibly hold. Whether it is in Kansas City or not, it's important, at least in my mind, because I know that these guys, they don't necessarily look at all of their statistics and the way that they have been playing, but over 100 tackles to me doesn't seem that improbable. Now let's talk about another expectation that I've got. The stuffs category that has become more prominent in Tranquill's game since donning a Chiefs uniform, believe it or not. In his 2 seasons, he has 13 stuffs, 5.5 in his first year and 7.5 last season. That in itself is 13 stuffs, and his best season right before he went into free agency once again with following that 2022 season with the Chargers is that he had 12.5 stuff. So he's already surpassed that. I wouldn't say that he's going to, set a new career high this season in the stuffs category, but I wouldn't be upset if it was I'm expecting him to be around the 4 to 7 range in stuffs category. I feel like that's a good, and if he surpasses it, by all means, that's just adding more to the legacy and the stock market and the market value that Drue Tranquill will have following this season. Because as we know, the Chiefs they don't have a lot of money to spend currently, so much so that it's almost they're kind of seem like they're done in the money spending department. They have $11 million, give or take, with left in their cap space, and I don't believe that they're going to use it on a guy like Tranquill before the season gets underway. But yeah, I'm also fully expecting him to be healthy once again. He has been effective since he's been in Kansas City. He's played 16 or more games, or 16 games both season that he's been in Kansas City. I would even say that if he can stay as healthy as he can, keep him out there for a whole 17-game season, he's got the kind of makeup, the build, the experience. I'm fully expecting Tranquill to have a great last season in Kansas City, should this be his last year with the franchise, and see himself set him up nicely for the free agency in 2026. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, be sure you follow me over on X at Dom Minchella, where I post and repost every single day, all Kansas City Chiefs stuff. You're not going to want to miss it as we get closer and closer to the 2025 NFL campaign. You can also follow us over at KC Chiefs on SI, where all of our stories get posted by our wonderful writing staff, and we work tirelessly throughout the offseason and into the regular season as the Kansas City Chiefs football in the entirety of the National Football League is almost here, right around the corner. That being said, though, make sure you also subscribe to Sports Videos on SI, where you can see the majority of the Kansas City Chiefs podcast, as well as other sites doing their podcasts. Always great coverage. And always, Chiefs Kingdom, be kind to one another. I'll see you tomorrow.